What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Hustlers Kung Fu Live. Tonight, we're going to talk about something very, very important. What are you going to do for the next 10 years? This is something that we really need to talk about because I'm going to tell you, I was thinking today. Also, we will be bringing in our sponsor. This live stream of Hustlers Kung Fu was brought to you by the Corporate Toolbox, which will teach you how to set up your holding company, operating companies, and teach you how to start, structure, and scale your business. The links below. We have a special going on for September and a lot of cool stuff that's going to happen in October. A lot of cool stuff that's going to happen in October. All right. So one of the things I need to do is to bring some more people to the party. Well, there we go. If you've noticed, the tone of the videos has changed. I am just talking to the serious people. And that's who I'm talking to. You know, if you don't want to do anything, or you're just kind of, because tonight we're going to get into some stuff. I want you to go get a pen and some paper. We're going to do some exercises tonight. So go ahead and get a pen and paper. Because we're going to be cooking with gas tonight. Hold on. All right. So there we go. We are cooking with gas. All right. Once again, go ahead and get pen and paper. I want you to do this exercise tonight. I want you to go ahead and start working on your next 10 years. Because I was thinking, I started this channel August 6, 2009, in the height of the recession. And it's one of the best decisions I ever did. So what are you doing? What are your plans for the next 10 years? Serious. What are your plans for the next 10 years? Oh, yeah, we're going to be a little different. All right, so I want you, because I did this 10 years ago, and I want you to do this exercise. I sat down and I wrote it down what I wanted to be doing. I wanted to be a writer, which transitioned into being a content creator. And I had a 2-year goal, a 5-year goal, and my 5-year goal, I just extended that to 10 years. So I had a 2-year goal and a 5-year goal. My 2-year goal was to make a living as a writer. I gave myself 2 years to do that. And my income goal was $50,000 a year. This was a written goal. And my 5-year plan, if that was to work, was to become a famous author, to build a media company, and that's has come to pass. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's time to do that again. It's time to do that again. Like this morning's video, which was about one of my heroes, Kenneth Chenault, the former CEO of American Express, just a bad dude. And he became the CEO of American Express when I was coming out of the boarding house situation. And he was a source of inspiration and a source of motivation because it's like, man, he did that. Here's something that I don't think I've ever shared on YouTube. One of my goals when I was in high school was to go to New York and become a stockbroker. I don't think I've ever told anyone that because I was a kid and I remember calling the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow Jones, and called them. And this was back when there was a long distance phone call. If you remember when long distance used to cost some money, and I called them and I talked to someone for 30 seconds and hung up. So one of the things that I've learned is you need to forecast and plan, and you need to have long-term plans because my current plan is I got a 5-year plan and then I got a 10-year plan. My 5-year plan is to groom to bring 50,000 people into the corporate citizen fold, to welcome them into the fold, get them set up, get them acclimated, get them in a situation where they become corporate citizens. That's a 5-year plan. And I think it's going to take me 5 years to get 50,000 people because what I feel is going to happen is I'm just going to get like a little trickle in the beginning. And then once I start running paid advertising, that's when I'm going to get a lot of more people. So that is the 5-year plan. The 10-year plan is to buy 2 to 3 rental houses per year for the next 10 years, starting in 2021. That is my exit plan, so to speak, because in 10 years, I will be 63. That's crazy to talk about because I don't feel like, I'll be 54 next month. So in 10 years, I will be 63 years old. And I got to really think about it because I feel that I bounced back pretty strong from the heart attack. But I've never been 63 years old. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that feels like. But I am preparing for 63 these next 10 years because let me go ahead and do the math on it. The type of properties what I want to buy, I get up to 25 properties times 3,500 per month. That's 87,500 per month. Times 12 is $1 million a year business. So the first 5 years, I will be doing the bringing on people on the corporate citizen track. And then in the background, I will be building my real estate property business because it's going to be an active business. And I'm building it in a holding company. Another goal that I want to share with y'all. How did you become better at cold calling? Hello, picking up the phone and just calling. And I bought a book about cold calling. What's up? So another thing that I plan on doing is getting in the best shape of my life. I've started a new workout program about 8 days ago. So it's my goal to lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months. So that's another goal because I want to be in tip top shape for 63. And I got to start working on that now. Like working on that diet is the hardest part. All right. So, what I want you to do, if you've got your pen and paper at the top, I want you to write my next 10 years. Take a sheet of paper, write my next 10 years. And on this sheet of paper, I want you to write down what you want to accomplish in the next 10 years. No, go ahead. Like Emporia Prime, write it down. Write it down because typically each month before I start the month, somewhere about the 25th, 27th, I write my intentions for the upcoming month. I do this every month. So write it down. Like, what do you want to do? Write it down. If you want to get married in the next 10 years, this will sound strange from Mr. Disruptive Male, but I see myself married in the next 2 to 3 years. I see myself married. I see myself having more children. I see myself building a family. Yes, hit that like button. So 50,000 corporate citizens, the real estate portfolio, getting married, having kids, building a family. This is, on record, my 10-year plan. What I want to accomplish, what I want to do. My 72, once again, take a sheet of paper. Because see, it doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter. Before 2009, 1999, I was homeless. I was living in a boarding house. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any skills. That's where I started. So don't even worry about where you start. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, yeah. I'm getting on it because this new workout, it forces me to do 2 to 3 workouts per day. Treadmill, core workout, and working out with the weights. So I want everyone today to impress upon your future what you want to do. Because I'm here to tell you these next 10 years are going to come and go quicker than you can imagine. It's going to be crazy how fast it's going to go. Wow, Tracy, in the last 2 months, thanks to you, I made an extra 7,000. Awesome. All right, Malcolm, do it. Do it. I want everyone to write down what they want to accomplish. What do you want to do in the next 10 years? What do you want to do? How you want to do it? And also, I want you to think about what you want to do and how you want to do it. I mean, seriously, 10 years will fly by for sure, because I'm just sitting here. It was 11 years ago when I started this YouTube channel, when I created my first digital product, and I'm looking back at all of the things that happened. Discipline and focus. Yep. Johnny Walden, thanks for the $10 super chat. I'm working on my health, wellness, taking IB therapy, and getting blood tests ran. That's the best way. You 53 tomorrow. I'm already 53. I will be 54 October. All right, Corey. Because see, one of the things that people don't understand is let's go ahead and have this conversation. People want to start businesses in weeks and months and get to the tip top, get to the promised land very, very quickly. Now, if you start to look in terms of 1, 2, and 3 years, you can get so much accomplished. You can get so much accomplished. But, all right, Erica, establish 2 more. Write it down, like, sheet of paper, pen, write it down. Because I want to talk about marriage. And I'm going to talk about it from the standpoint of myself. If I'm going to build a legacy, who am I building it for? I want you to think about this. Who would I be building this for? And I had someone this morning that talked about, when of Kenneth Chenault getting married, and it was like, it was a different time. Do you understand that high value men in 2020 can easily find a good woman to get married to? My issue, and I had to own it, is once I learned how to handle, manipulate, and deal with female nature, it became like shooting fish in a barrel. And I'm at a point where I just kind of got tired of living that life. I want stability. I want a wife. I want a home. And that's just, I feel that once I got it out my system, because the disruptive male, because that channel is changing a lot. All right. Because I'm going to do more leadership. And the MGTOW, the red pill men, they're practicing a lot of antisocial behavior. There are channels that talk about, I'm going to live alone. I'm not going to cohabitate with a woman. I'm just going to do my own thing. And that is not part of the grand design. It's just not. And fortunately, most people are not going to do it. Most men are going to get with women, except for the red pill, the most ardent red pill MGTOW men. And also, here's something else too. All right, determined soul. Yeah, because it's very important. Look, let me leave the MGTOW red pill conversation and come to this. Writing down your goals is so important, because this is the process. Like last month, I wrote down what I wanted to accomplish for the month of August. I wrote down what I wanted to accomplish in August, and I knocked everything out the park. And then I wrote a grander, more ambitious plan for September. Joshua Wash, I did a consulting call today with someone in transportation. Transportation ain't going nowhere. We're always going to need somebody to get product A from point A to point B. Hey, because one of the things I want you guys to understand is you can plan for the future or you cannot plan for the future. The Migto thinking leads to a very sad, unfeeling, regretful life, in my honest opinion. It's antisocial behavior. All right, because there was Alpha Male Strategy was on the Roommates podcast, and he was saying that it was foolish to get married. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Marriage has a 50% fail rate, and many people think it's foolish to get married. Bitcoin, which crashed recently, day trading, and Forex has a 95% failure rate, but the same people who are afraid of marriage are jumping into Bitcoin, Forex, and day trading, which has a much higher failure rate. Yes, ownership is going to be key. Ownership is going to be definitely key. But I'm just here to see, because somebody said something in a comment today that got me to thinking. Right now, there are two women that would marry me if I asked them tomorrow, but I don't want them in that regard. Why is it that I can find good women, like I said, because I have a different vision for my future wife, who's going to be a helpmate, who's going to be supportive, who's going to have her stuff together, who is going to be quite the lady. I have a vision for her. I have her on my dream girl profile. And part of this is, why would I be looking to get a wife? I'm getting ready to build out the 50,000 corporate citizens. And frankly, I'm just kind of tired of the dating game. I mean, I've done it 2011 up to now. And it's time for a new prototype. It's a new time. It's time for a new game plan. I want stability. %25% if you're college educated, 9% if your first marriage is 27 to 32 years old. Hey, a lot of people are really down on marriage, but they don't know the numbers. Yes, this is why I'm having this live stream talking about write down your plans. Write down your plans tonight and understand it don't have to be perfect. You want to extract your desires out of your mind and put them on paper and start working on your plan. I was listening to Kevin Samuels said the divorce rate is only 20% for the upper class, and 8 out of 10 women are the ones that file for divorce. Usually it's women filing for divorce. And I will agree based upon where I live. Many of these folks are married to their, who are wealthy. Let's make no mistake about it. My neighbor over there, he's wealthy. They're wealthy. They're married to their first wives. So this also, Steve Jameson makes an important point to what I said about getting money. Getting money. Diamond Life. Yeah, because essentially, I just had a second young adulthood, just keeping it honest, because I came out of the storage auction business, then I got into this digital marketing business, and this set a new leash upon life. But once again, when you have money, and this is why I speak to all of my young men, build before you get married. Don't listen to Kevin. That's funny. Joshua Wash, Migo kind of confused because they're anti-establishment, yet they don't want to marry. Who are they going to leave their legacy to the government so the government can oppress more men? Hey, they haven't really thought that far. Don't want to be a player no more? I guess I am getting older. Well, you know, marriage could be cheaper because the way that I played the game, I didn't really spend a lot of money. All right, Tracy, good deal. The hobosexuals. Jesus, I would like to hear your opinion on what benefits does a man get from marriage? Not against marriage, by the way. First benefit, you have a committed relationship. First of all, let's go back, Jesus or Jesus. Let's go back to how we are orientated as people. I used to work in the nursery, and when we come out the womb, we're instantly designed to connect with another human. You have a baby that's laying in the crib, baby screaming, nurse picks up the baby stops crying. So from birth, we are orientated to be with somebody. So the first benefit, if you marry correctly, and let's talk about that, is you will have companionship. And the older you get, the more important companionship is. Let me say this again. The older you get, the more important companionship you have. The second benefit is stability. This is why you see Fortune 500 CEOs, President of the United States, people who do a lot of building, they're focused because they have a stable mate. They're not out here tricking, they're not in the strip clubs. Because one of my clients, because we kind of drilled down into some disruptive dating, disruptive male stuff, he figured he was blowing $5,000 a month going out. And he was having shortfalls in his business. And when he actually crunched the numbers, and I was like, you need to get you a girlfriend. So the first thing is we solved the companionship issue. The second thing is we have stability. And once again, this is with the right person. Just to get married is not going to yield you these benefits. And also, you have if you get married to the right woman who bears your children, those children are your legacy. They have your name, they may look like you, and they will carry your genes forward. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Dr. Dre and his wife, and everyone's talking about that. Dr. Dre is a billionaire. And typically when billionaires get divorced, the wives get a lot of money because even if she takes half, Dr. Dre will still be fantastically wealthy. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. So there are many, many benefits. Like I'm going to tell you I used to work in the hospital, and there was this Q dog who had cancer. He had his new wife and his old wife in the hospital room taking care of him. As someone who got sick and was in the hospital, I'm telling you, it helps you heal better when you have someone out there looking over for you. I worked in the hospital. I saw many people in the hospital alone, never got a visitor, never had anyone that come to see them. It's bad. Nonsensical nature. There's a parallel between day trading and gambling. Another between these pickup YouTube ads and stock ads, fake entrepreneur ads, selling a false magic pill to justify the viewer's lack of action. Could be. Justin Williams, I don't really know about that. I don't see how you can make any money doing that. Off the reservation. Tell a strong woman is everything. I'm going to say a good woman that's good for you. When you're in a good relationship, it makes your life better. Tricking. I touched on that, DD, because this is one of the things. To a man who's happily married, and this is one of the reasons that married men make more money than single men. They have stability. And for the record, everyone doesn't cheat. Everyone doesn't have a side chick. This is ghettoology. Last one standing. Oh my God, marriage is scary when guys. Well, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about how people have changed. Well, because it's such an amazing amount of money, Royston. Corey Beals Sr. Most of the men that speak against marriage usually don't have clear goals. Many are entitled and enabled, and most of them still hurting over the love of their life due to their foolishness. Could be. Chico MBA, thanks for $2 super chat. Sure, Jesus. I thought about getting married for health insurance once or twice. That's funny. Nicole Young and her legal team are playing no games. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. She's just trying to get an unreasonable amount of money because he has it. But, getting married and also having the intention to get married. I will tell you that it will bring a different type of woman into your life. It will definitely bring a different type of woman in your life. But, this is my 10-year plan, because one of the things that is somewhat of a distraction is that if you start a YouTube channel that talks about dating and getting women, this channel talks about starting a business and getting money. There are more people who want to have sex than get money. It's crazy. It is so crazy. But I'm just here to tell you, like, these 10 years, and this is a little bit to the left for the young men who get caught up and go to jail for 10 years. I want you to think, if someone reached into your life and stole 10 years. There was this science fiction show, Stargate, and I think they had these things called a Wraith, where they would put their hand on you and suck out your life force and age you real quick, or just suck you all up and use up your life force. This is, we have so many men who get caught up in the legal system and lose 10, 20, and 30 years of their life. I'm just looking back at what I was able to accomplish in 10 years. And you got people out here who are losing 10, 20, 30 years. No. because they will hop into, well, once you have purpose, once you have an agenda, you change your energy. You change what you will bring into your life. Because essentially, when I was doing the Disruptive Male channel, parts of me was disappointed with the quote manosphere, because it seems that the best channels were the ones that promoted disharmony, antisocial behavior. And let's go ahead and address the single mother. I have 1, 2, 3 friends who were single mothers. They all got married. I have a couple people know they're married and had a bunch of kids, and people hired him for sale because he was so desperate, because 10 years of his life. Woo! Like the whole marriage thing, because we will be talking about that in the corporate toolbox. Because because I actually have a course on how to get a girlfriend. It's the disruptive mating. It teaches you how to get a girlfriend, how to have a relationship. Well, hey, folks got to work. Folks got to work. Folks got to get it. But, the next time I get married, I'm not getting divorced. I already know this, because this is something that's been on my mind for the last, for a good minute. And it's kind of funny when I think about it, because when I start putting together the corporate toolbox, when I started putting together all of this training and content, and I started thinking of the future, I started thinking of my life, I started thinking of my mortality. I'm going to try to make it to like 104, like my Aunt Bunny. Wish me luck on that. But going forward, you're going to see a different, because if you've already noticed, the content on the channel has changed, because I'm doing something totally different now that I'm talking about. Because, the video this morning about Kenneth Chenault, I knew it wasn't going to get a lot of views, because I need to build an audience that wants to do something with their life. Oh, yeah, that purpose. I mean, because like I said, I am really jazzed about the corporate citizen. I am really jazzed about that. Roger, I'm 58, would like to marry a young woman in her 20s and have kids. My family would have a stroke and heart attack, especially my daughter. I know I was talking to someone today who is 39, and he has a 1-month-old sister. His 58-year-old father got a 24-year-old girl pregnant, and they had a kid. Now he has a sister. All right, Samuel Shaw, we will be getting into it. That's what I'm shooting for. 100% commission sales is a massive mind shift. Massive. Oh, yeah, because essentially what I'm going to start doing is have my editing team edit the videos for this channel, as well as the videos for Savage Finance, because I'm probably going to get another editor. Yeah, because see, this is one of the things. We've always had a small contingency of great Black people. But you could say Cardi B, more people know who Cardi B is than they knew who Kenneth Chenault was. All right, Tracy, I like that. Go Dad. All right, Jaws. Yes, there's always content. There's always room for more content. There is always room for more content. So Yeah, because essentially I'm going to be reorientating the content on this channel because when I did AG Gaston and when I did because there are well notable black folks who've done well. AG Gaston became a millionaire with black folks for being hung. That's deep. All right, Jay. Steve Jameson. You daddy. Daddy. Charlatan, I will email you about that later. Online sales. We're going to be talking about how to launch your online business in the corporate toolbox. Essentially, my business and some other people's businesses I know have exploded during the pandemic. All right. Because I'm going to be putting down some more content at Savage Finance about holding companies. So there was going to be a lot more about it because essentially what I want to do is create a legacy because, with Savage Finance, I was talking about like, I don't really need to quote, save any more money. I've got enough cash. I got cash. So essentially starting November, possibly October, I got to look at the numbers. All of the money that I make for, October, November, December, that's going to go for a rental property in January or February. So I'm not saving any more money. I'm getting ready to put all this money to work, get this money in the gym, have my money doing bench presses because like I just feel so invigorated with a new purpose because when I thought about the 50,000 corporate citizens, that is a monumental undertaking because I was telling my consulting call today, and he was with it. He was really, really with it. Is I want to make more of me because I have a really good life. If you got a question, just go ahead and ask it right there. I'm probably getting ready to do some new content. I got a gimbal and everything. I hadn't even set it up. I'm getting ready to do a lot of things. Hold on a second. So, one of the things that I want to establish is because essentially, let's go ahead and talk about the corporate toolbox. September, you want to get in September because there's fire coming in October, there's fire coming in November, there's fire coming in December. I've got a whole lineup for it because essentially we're just talking about the basics. Because the basics about what kind of business you should start, and also I don't advise you to start businesses that are not in alignment with your strengths. So we're going to be talking about that. So, and also next year, I am moving out of this house and I'm probably going to move to Midtown or Buckhead. Just try that because I'm going to have rentals. I may be renting, I may buy, I don't know. But I'm probably going to try that city life for a minute just to see what it's about, just to see how it goes. But I really want you guys, like, I'm really serious. Tonight, take some time, take a sheet of paper, take a pen, and write down your plan for the next 10 years. Because the 10 years are going to come by quicker than you know. Because I'm just sitting back here. I'm just remembering what I went through in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. And if I knew what I was doing, because see, here's the thing. When I started all this, I didn't know what I was doing. If I knew what I was doing, I would have made 10 million. I didn't know what I was doing. Really? The Cheetah Club? Yeah. I'm going to buy houses in my neighborhood. Now, this is one of the things. I know how this real estate market works in my neighborhood. I'm going to be renting properties to people who can buy houses but would prefer to rent. And I've been doing some Airbnb is starting to come back. People who have Airbnbs, they're getting rentals. People are moving. People are traveling. And I'm probably going to do 2 long-term rentals, and I'm going to probably trick out one place for Airbnb. What's up? Hey, I don't know about any of that stuff because I'm pretty much keep myself at home. I'm not out in the streets messing around with people, but I'm going to be focused for the next 5 years on building out the corporate citizens, educating people, teaching people how to start businesses, how to get a hold of this corporate citizen life, and building my real estate portfolio. Those are the plans. And I started my holding company 2 years ago, and the Atlanta real estate market was just crazy. The Atlanta real estate market was hot, 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 hot. And I didn't want to pay those prices for real estate. What's your take on the Shell Corp? All right, Shell Corps don't work anymore. It used to be you could go ahead and buy what was considered an age corporation and inherit its credit rating. Now, if you're trying to get cash like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, once the ownership of that corporation changes, those banking institutions are going to make you requalify. So the whole Shell thing doesn't work. Commercial real estate can be good, but right now, commercial real estate is taking it on the chin. Determined sold. Here's the thing. Tonight, I want you just to get it out of your head, just to put it on paper and work out and get more detail. Because the thing is, you're going to be revisiting this a few times. From Fox and Media. I just saw that. Thank you, Glenn. In your course I bought helped me make money with photography and video, even when the studio I was getting jobs from closed. Kept me alive. The BGs, man. All right. Cool, 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 cool. I don't know how I missed that. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Married men live longer. This is statistically true. How established does a man need to be before getting married? Well, first of all, you shouldn't be in debt. You should have your own car. You should have your own place. You should have your long-term emergency funds set up, your short-term emergency funds set up, and your family operating account. And that's just a good basis to enter a marriage. You don't have to be rich, but you need to be financially educated and financially solvent. Oh, marriage is a great institution with the right people. Joshua Wash, thanks for the $10 super chat. With the help of you and the trucking guru, I would be a corporate citizen. The game both y'all give is for free. It's essential to Black people. If they do the work, G need to eat, support the real people. Hey. Well, I'm going to be talking about banking because currently this is my banking setup. First of all, I'll talk about having a home bank, and then I've got 2 fintech bank accounts. So it really just depends on what you're doing and how you got it set up. Are married men healthier? I don't really know the answer to that. Oh, Jay, I support any business. Like, let's say you work for a company that turns into a franchise. You already have half the information because you work for them. So I'm all for anything that can help you put more money in your pocket. What's the difference between an expense account and an operating account? An expense account, let's say in my business, some of the expenses I have hosting expenses, texting expenses, email expenses, that would come out the expense account. The operating account is for the operations of the business. Operating or like, let's say rent would come out your operating account. Or if you had a car payment, that would come out your operating account, such things like that. In marriage, do you believe in separate or joint accounts? This is how I will do my marriage. I would have all of my corporate stuff over here. That's going to remain separate because it has to. But I would have a joint account with my wife because this is one of the reasons that I'm putting myself on salary. And yes, there will be a joint account because we're going to work together and the money should be working together. So yes, there will be a joint account. There will be, because the business accounts and stuff, all that will be separate. But the marital account, we would have a joint checking savings account for household business. Married men are generally healthier because they go to the doctor more often. Really? Didn't know that. So essentially, I will be instructing in the corporate citizen how to set up, because see, you need to have separation between your personal accounts and you need to have separation with your business accounts. And also, let me go ahead and show y'all something. Georgia. All right. All right. So all right. So this is my holding company. And I formed this in 2018. Wow. It'd be 2 years tomorrow. Let me see. Let me see if that's showing up. All right. So let me go ahead and all right. So here's my holding company, and it's already part of my holding company. Disruptive Asset Holdings LLC require all members, future and present, to enter into prenuptial agreements to prevent the sale of assets and liquidation of company assets. Any payment to an ex-spouse will be quarterly and reasonable. Now, what does this do? This creates a situation where I'm going to, whoever I marry, before I even ask this chick to marry me, we're going to have a conversation about the prenup, because I'm going to build, I have children, that are part of the estate planning. And anyone that I get married to is going to sign a prenup 6 months to a year before we get married. This is part of my corporate strategy. The holding company owns the subsidiaries. So it does own, because essentially when you create a holding operating company from your holding company, the holding company is the parent, which means it gives birth to the child corporation. So it does own the operating companies directly. It's going to be pretty difficult. Is it possible or difficult to get unsecured loans not attached to your social security number on the business listing? Over at Savage Finance, you can get a PayPal working capital loan. You can get Stripe capital loans. They're not tied to your social, but you got to have some money rolling through your company. So, for a normal, regular business, it could be practically impossible. So, on what you got going on. So it really, really depends on what you got going on. But essentially, I've already set myself up to get married because anyone that I'm with, we're really serious and we're talking about it. The holding company, the prenuptial conversation is going to come up immediately. It's going to come up before we're like, hey, will you marry me? We're going to have that conversation because there are some women who inherently don't believe in signing prenups. And if I have the misfortune to run into one of those, we ain't getting married. It's going to be just like Steven Jackson. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Yeah, because essentially when you have a holding company, you can put whatever you want into your articles of organization. And people don't know just how powerful that is. They don't really understand how powerful that is. And, that's on me to educate people because, like I said, the rest of the year is going to be fire for the corporate citizen because essentially knowing why, what kind of company you should set up and all this other stuff and setting up the company. But when we get to the marketing part, that's going to be the gold. That's going to be the situation because probably what I'm going to do is adjust the payment plan for November because we're about to get into some funky stuff. We're going to get into some good stuff. So we're going to get into some really good things. But essentially, take the directive from this video and write down what you want to happen in the next 10 years. Go ahead and put that on a sheet of paper and start working with it because it's going to change a little bit as you get into your business models. Just start working with that. Start breaking that off. Start really, really understanding how the game play. Because when you write down your goals, you give yourself power. You give yourself energy. You give yourself direction. The general, you've got a sad life, man. Florida is a great state for corporate citizens because Florida has no state income tax. Tracy Stevens, thanks for the $5 super chat. because essentially what we want to do is become a directive. Because like I said, I was sitting there thinking, man, these last 10 years went by so quickly. And I started to think about what happened in 2009, 2010, 2011. And I'm like, man, that was so long ago. Irv, the online fitness space, it doesn't have you. Here, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Anyone that's worried about it's being oversaturated, they don't have a different energy, because there's a guy, Bricks Fitness. Check him out. He's talking about having $1 million year in this oversaturated fitness industry. Just put your stuff out there, man. Build your customer base. Really, Barton? That's wild. Q Savage, you should start your holding company in Pennsylvania. Because see, one of the things, unless you're going to do a C Corp, unless you're going to have some intentions of going public or have intentions of getting certain kind of investors, you should start a holding company, an LLC holding company in your home state. Casanova, yes, vetting process is very, very important. It's extremely important. Sure thing, Larry. Because essentially, I want you guys to prepare for the next 10 years. And if you start thinking about, you can do so much in 10 years. But if you're thinking about doing it in 2 or 3 months, yeah, that's hard. But if you like, okay, today is September 11th, 2020. In 2021, I'm going to have my holding company. I'm going to have my operating company. I'm going to be making 6 figures a year. You can do that in a year. You can't do that in a few weeks or a few months, but you can do that in a year or 18 months. And I want people to start thinking in realistic terms of starting their businesses. You should look at it every day. You should look at your goals every day. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. If you want to be part of the corporate citizen thing, because this is going to be going on for the next 5 years. So this is one of the reasons that I'm kind of bringing it gently. Go below. You can get in the payment plan, or you can do $2,400 and get in, and know that this is going to be going on for quite a while. This is going to be going on October. It's going to be going on November. And it's going to be going on December. And I'm probably going to do a ski trip in December. So I may take the last 2 weeks of the year off. Well, like I said, I'm changing the format of this channel, because essentially I'm getting away from the sensational topics. I'm getting down to stuff like this, talking like this. And for this, because essentially there are a group of people on this channel who are serious about their success. And I'm going to start making content for them between this over here and what's going over at Savage. Because Savage Finance is going to be nothing but money, holding companies. And this will be the commentary on top of that. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. If you want to become a member, on this Sunday, we're doing a live webinar over the current training that's in the corporate toolbox. So if you want to ask questions, because I figure I'm going to do content during the week, do the training, and then I'm going to have a webinar after the training, after you've consumed the training, and if you've got questions. So that's going to work a little bit better. Well, we will, Health Before Wealth, we will be talking about how to figure out what kind of business you will be in. So if that may be helpful for you. Floyd Mayweather is his own independent planet. Floyd doing his own thing. Floyd is on a whole nother level, man. Floyd's on is a completely different level. All right. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see you in the next episode.